Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Carroll, the PennDOT Secretary, and I'm thrilled to be here today at PennDOT's Fleet Management to talk about the winter season and the steps that PennDOT has taken to anticipate and manage effectively the winter storms that are on the horizon for us. I'm thrilled also to be joined by my colleagues from the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission. We'll hear from Craig Shuey in a little while, and the Turnpike, like PennDOT, equally prepared for the winter season. I'm also excited to share with you a new tool. You might be able to see it flashing behind me, and we'll talk about that in a little while as well. What you need to know is that PennDOT is well aware of the winter season on the horizon, and at PennDOT, like the Turnpike, we prepare for winter, the next winter, the day after the prior winter ends. And so I'm standing here today at the Fleet Management, and I'll brag for a minute. Governor Shapiro and I, in an effort to try and preserve money in the Motor License Fund, decoupled $250 million of PennDOT money that was directed to the Pennsylvania State Police, and we anticipate continuing that decoupling over the next 2 years. The good news today is that part of that decoupling resulted in an additional $75 million to our fleet. There's a tandem axle dump truck behind me that is heading to Allegheny County. There's a crew cab behind me that's heading to Delco, Delaware County. Those pieces of equipment are the product of the decoupling of the state police money. Again, we doubled the amount of money that went into our fleet. So I'm proud of that effort. PennDOT will continue that. We have a yard full of equipment out there, and it highlights the fact that PennDOT is ready, our operators are ready, our counties are ready, but to be ready with brand new equipment that's more reliable is even better. And so PennDOT and the Turnpike have done their part, and today's message is for the folks, the 13 million Pennsylvanians, to do their part as well. We need folks to slow down in the winter, to maintain safe distances between vehicles, and to be prepared for snow emergencies and ice emergencies that are bound to come. I'm thrilled today that Rachel Duda, PennDOT's district executive from District 12, which is Southwest Pennsylvania, is here today. And Rachel and her team of folks in Southwest PA can lend firsthand information about what's on the horizon for PennDOT going forward this winter. Rachel.
Thank you, Secretary Carroll. As you mentioned, PennDOT prepares for winter well ahead of the season. We have thousands of team members ready to brave the winter and keep our roads safe and passable. We have salt stockpiled across the state and will receive deliveries through the season. Keeping our roads as safe as possible in the winter is a team effort. Each year we have hundreds of job openings statewide for temporary positions. These range from equipment operators to diesel mechanics and welders. We have many people who have grown their careers at PennDOT by starting as operators or temporary operators. And we'd love to have you on our team. I encourage anyone interested in these opportunities to visit employment.pa.gov/PennDOT. Team members will support our large winter service responsibility. Our staff monitors equipment, traffic, and the weather in all sorts of conditions and at all hours. We also remind motorists that during winter weather events, the department's goal is to keep the roads passable. Not completely free of snow or ice, but passable. The heavier the traffic or the snowfall, the longer our plow routes may take to complete. With each storm, we will continue to treat the roads throughout the storm until the roads are all clear. Also, at 511pa.com, you can see the plow locations and when all the snow was last plowed on that road. I encourage motorists to check 511pa.com or the 511pa app wherever they travel. We have over 1,000 traffic cameras, roadway alerts, and winter roadway conditions on major highways. The people who work in your communities throughout this coming season are ready. We encourage the public to join us in making this season a safe one. Thank you. Back to the Secretary.
Thanks so much, Rachel. So in addition to the preparations that we've made for the winter, I'm excited to highlight a new law that Governor Shapiro signed after its passage in the House and Senate. This law allows PennDOT and the Turnpike and municipalities and our highway contractors working on our behalf to install flashing or revolving green lights. These lights will be in addition to the yellow or amber lights that you see that are common on our equipment out on the highways. And it may seem like a small change, but this new light combination will increase safety by making construction and maintenance vehicles more visible. They have been used and have been proven effective in other states, and I'm thrilled that we have them here in Pennsylvania now. Safety during the winter season is so important, especially because we have many more crashes as a result of the winter maintenance that we have to do and the snow and ice that's obvious in the winter. Last year, there were 151 crashes on snowy or ice-covered slushy roads, and many of those crashes were the result of aggressive driving and other factors. And sadly, crashes last year resulted in 3 deaths and 55 injuries. I'd prefer to have those numbers 0 and 0. So for the safety of all motorists, drivers should always follow the speed limit that's posted, especially by our variable speed limit boards across the Commonwealth, and especially when they're lowered because of snow and ice. Motorists can prepare now for winter by packing an emergency kit to keep in their vehicle in case of getting stuck, and make sure you have the necessary food and water, blankets and so on that you may need in order to be able to await some assistance that would come from either emergency services, the state police, or PennDOT and the Turnpike. Everyone has a responsibility to deliver safety on the roadways. PennDOT's operators are ready, PennDOT's fleet is ready, and I'm hopeful that the 13 million Pennsylvanians will join us in that readiness to make sure that we can get through this winter season safely. And I'm thrilled now to bring to the podium Craig Shuey from the Chief Operating Officer at the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Craig.
Thank you, Secretary Carroll. As our partners are PennDOT and the municipalities across Pennsylvania, the Turnpike is also preparing for winter. As we've seen with the rain we've had the last few weeks, if that were snow, we would be up to our eyeballs in it. And that's what we prepare for each year. We begin at the end of each winter, renewing our equipment, stocking our salt bins with salt, and preparing our teams for the coming winter. We have over 136,000 tons of salt across the Turnpike preparing for that winter operation, more than 600 operators and more than 400 pieces of equipment that will be out on our roads to support travel across the Commonwealth and across the Turnpike in winter situations. At the coordination level, the folks at PennDOT, the Turnpike Commission, at the highest levels, coordinate each winter storm to talk through the potential scenarios to help support our teams on the field, the folks in the vests and the hard hats, who come out each day, who leave their families for long hours at a time, and continue to work in dangerous, cold conditions. They come in, they stay overnight, they continue to support the Commonwealth's operations daily, and I really hope, as was mentioned by the Secretary, that our motorists can try to practice what I call the 3 Ps, practicality, patience, and preparedness. If you can be practical about what your expectations are for getting out on the roadway, understand if you really need to be there, understand if your vehicle is equipped to handle the situations that you're getting into. Be patient when you're out on the roadway. Understand that the folks who are in front of you plowing snow are doing the best they can to move that snow and ice off the roadway to support your travel. Stay back, chill out, relax, and just let that work get done. And if you can be prepared, sometimes things happen. You get stuck in a snowbank, crash happens in front of you, you're waiting for a while to get things moving. We're at the same mercy you are in terms of being able to continue traffic and continue the work we do. So when the roads shut down, it can take a while to get things moving again. But if you could, practice those 3 Ps and be prepared to deal with sitting in the snow and waiting, I think everybody will work out well. Everything will work out well for you. But that is what we're up against. That's what we prepare for. We're doing our best to support your needs, and we'll continue to be there throughout all of the winter season. I appreciate, as the Secretary mentioned, the green lights that we're looking at behind us. Our folks are continually talking to us about how it doesn't seem like the motorists see them and understand where they are. These green lights will give a new visibility to the folks that are out there on the operating side of our roadway, and to give you, the motorist, an understanding that there is someone there, someone working behind that green light that is trying to do the best they can for you. If you can give that a little extra attention, you can pay that a little extra heed, I think we'll all end up being safer over this winter season. And I thank you very much for the time to be here.
Okay, Craig, thanks so much. And just to reiterate, PennDOT's ready, the Turnpike is ready, and we hope Pennsylvanians are ready as well to navigate the upcoming winter season. And a special thanks to the folks here at PennDOT's Fleet Management for their good work. The equipment that we see in the yard here today will be directed, as other equipment has been, to all 67 counties across our state. I highlighted the fact that the tandem behind me is going to Allegheny County and the crew cab to Delaware County. Literally every single county in our state, all 67, will be the beneficiaries of the additional $75 million that was put into our fleet as a result of the decoupling of the state police funds. So having said that, if the media has any questions, we'll be happy to entertain them. I know Craig would join me as well if there's any questions.
Mike, with the green lights, I mean, what considerations were made as to not add more distractions with that particular color choice?
I think because the amber lights are so prevalent, the addition of the green light will be something novel for drivers in Pennsylvania. And hopefully that novelty, combined with the education of the public with respect to what the green lights are, will just slow folks down. There's so many amber lights out there now, yellow lights, that sort of common for people to see them. I don't think it draws the same attention and the same focus that the green lights will. And by the way, they've worked really well in other states.
As far as rollout, I know they're still getting them here statewide. What does that rollout look like at this point?
The statewide for the green lights?
Yeah.
So the districts and the counties will implement the addition of the lights to our equipment. We'll be strategic with respect to the addition of the green lights. If a piece of equipment is going to be cycled out next year, we may not get to it. It would be wasteful to put the green lights on a vehicle that we know is going to cycle out. But you're going to see them across the entire state in all 67 counties. That will begin, obviously, the Turnpike as well, in an effort to make sure that folks slow down. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Carroll, the PennDOT Secretary, and I'm thrilled to be here today at PennDOT's Fleet Management to talk about the winter season and the steps to prepare. And it highlights the fact that PennDOT is ready, our operators are ready, our counties are ready, but to be ready with brand safety during the winter season is so important, especially because we have many more crashes as a result of the winter maintenance that we have to do. And the snow and ice that's obvious in the winter. Rachel.
Thank you, Secretary Carroll. As you mentioned, PennDOT prepares for winter well ahead of the season. We have thousands who ruin their careers at PennDOT by starting as operators or temporary operators. And we'd love to have you on our team. I encourage anyone interested in these opportunities.
PennDOT's operators are ready, PennDOT's fleet is ready, and I'm hopeful that the 13 million Pennsylvanians will join us in that readiness to make sure that we can get through this winter season safely.
The Turnpike Commission at the highest levels coordinate each winter storm to talk through the potential scenarios to help support our teams on the field, the folks in the vest and the hard practicality, patience, and preparedness. If you can be practical about what your expectations are for getting out on the roadway, understand if you really need to be there, understand if your vehicle